In this lecture, I am going to talk about cross correlation function and its properties. Now, the concepts would become a little more involved in cross correlation than autocorrelation function, because the cross correlation function definition is the correlation between random variables which are taken from two different processes. Let's say x of t and y of t. They are two different processes, random processes. So maybe in x of t I have some collection of waveforms. So like this I have sample functions. So this all are together called the random process x of t. It can go up to infinity. So I can have infinite number of sample functions. This all are together called the random process x of t. Similarly, for a random process y of t, I can have some other waveform like this. Sorry. It can go up to infinite number of waveforms. So this is x1 of t, x2 of t, x3 of t, and so on and so forth. So this collection of waveforms, the collection of waveforms are called the random process y of t. So I have two different random processes. This is different from this one. Now what I do is, let me sample the random process at some time instant t1, and at this point I am getting a random variable x of t1. So let me denote this random variable as x1. This is x of t sampled at time instant t equal to t1. So you can also write x of t1. Similarly, y1 is obtained by sampling the random process at time instant t2. So instead of t1, the same time, I am going to sample the process at some other time instance. Let's say t equal to t2. Here I am going to get a random variable. Let me call y of t2. Therefore, let me denote this y of t2 as y2, which is sampling the random process yt at the time instant t equal to t2. That is equal to y of t2. So I have two different random processes, and by sampling these two different random processes at two different time instants, I am getting two random variables x1 and y2. Now if you find the correlation between this x1 and y2, then it is called a cross correlation function. So in short, x1 equal to x of t1 and y2 is equal to y of t2, and the relation between t1 and t2 is like t2 is equal to t1 plus the time difference or lag parameter tau. Therefore tau is equal to t2 minus t1. Now we assume that the two random variables are jointly stationary, x1 and y2 are jointly stationary. It means that the joint probability density function of x1 and y2 shall be independent of time origin. Where you are going to take the sample is not a problem. Okay, it matters only the time difference between the two sampling time instants. And we know that in the autocorrelation function, it is also requires joint probability density function. Whenever when we talked about autocorrelation function, there also we need a joint probability density function. Similarly, cross correlation function also we need a joint probability density function, JPDF. But in cross correlation, we even though it needs a joint PDF, but the only difference is that the two random variables are taken from two different processes as opposed to taking the two random variables from the same random processes in the case of autocorrelation function. So one random variable is taken from one random process and another random variable is taken from another random process. Okay, so if the two processes are jointly stationary, then the joint probability density function f of x of t1 comma y of t2 and x1 comma y2, put a colon here, the sampling instant t1 comma t2 will be independent of time if it is stationary. If they are, I mean x and y are jointly stationary. I mean independent of the origin, which means that the correlation function becomes correlation function between x1 and y2, which will be independent of t1 and t2. That's we have already seen this. So whenever your joint density function is stationary, then the autocorrelation function also independent of the actual sampling time instants t1 and t2. Okay, it will only depend on the time difference. Therefore, the cross correlation function only depends on what? Tau. Okay, does not depend on t1 and t2. And therefore we will define for this particular case of jointly stationary random variables as r x y of tau as the expected value of x of t times y of t plus tau. So by definition we know that r x y of t1, it's a sampling time instant of the random process x of t, and t2, the sampling time instant of the random process y of t, is equal to the expected value of x of t1 times y of t2. So two different random processes. Okay, you are sampling two different random processes. Now as I already said, t2 is equal to t1 plus tau. So substitute in this expression r x y of t1 comma t1 plus tau, which is expected value of x of t1 times y of t1 plus tau. Then for simplification, let us set t1 equal to t. Therefore r x y of t comma t plus tau is equal to x of t times y of t plus tau. Don't confuse with this with a random process x of t, because here I use the notation x of t for random processes, but here this x of t denotes a random variable. It's a sampling, I mean here I am doing the sampling at time instant t, at time instant t. Okay, so because I assumed t1 equal to t, that's why. So here t indicates sampling time instant. So don't confuse this x of t with the notation of random process x of t. Okay, and for stationary process, this cross correlation function does not depend on the actual time instant, actual sampling time instant. Therefore this I can write as r x y of tau for stationary random processes. Stationary, let me put rp. Therefore for stationary random process, the cross correlation function r x y of tau is equal to expected value of x of t times y of t plus tau. This is the cross correlation function definition. Now r x y of tau, in order to calculate this, we need a joint density function between the random variables x of t and y of t plus tau. So take the joint density function, let's say x and y comma x comma y, the sampling instant t comma t plus tau times dx and dy. Since two variables here, you put a double integration and the limit is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is the definition of cross correlation function between two random variables x and y. Definition of cross correlation function between x and y. So cross correlation determines how similar y from x or x from y. So that is the purpose we are doing this cross correlation. Now some point I want to note here. Note, suppose if you sample the random process y of t also at the same time instant as that of x of t, then what you will get? The meaning is, what you are doing, x of t, you are sampling the time instant at t equal to t1, right? And y of t, you are sampling at time instant t equal to t2, which is t1 plus tau. Now what I am saying is, you sample this y of t also at the same time instant as that of x of t, then what will happen? That means t equal to t1. So when I sample y of t also at the same time instant of t1, then what is the value of tau? Tau equal to 0. So therefore x of t is sampled at t1 and y of t is also sampled at t1. So in this case, Rxy of t1 comma t1, which is equal to Rxy of like t comma t. So this is Rxy of 0 because there is no difference between two sampling time instants. So both the processes are sampled at the same time instant. Okay, so this is Rxy of 0. But this Rxy of tau is a more general quantity, more general and more preferred quantity. That's it. Obviously, now if I interchange x and y, that is or y x like this, then let's see what the definition is, how the definition changes. So or y x of tau, again double integral, ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. Then this is going to be like you are sampling the process y at time instant t1 and sampling the random process x at t1 plus tau or t2. So I have the two random variables. So let me write down before putting this integration like its formal definition. Expected value of y of t1 times x of t1 plus tau. So this is integral of double integral of, let's say this is y times y1 times x2, it's a sampling time instant x2, and the joint density function y of t1 times x of t2, here y1 comma x2 comma t1 comma t2 times dy1 times dx1. Now you notice this joint density function may not be the same as this joint density function. Here the joint density function is between x and y, where x is sampled at time instant t1 and this y is sampled at time instant t2, and this joint density function let me call 1, and this joint density function let me call 2. Both are not equal. That means f x1 y2 of x1 comma y2 is not equal to f y1 x2 in general. Okay, so this is a definition that one should remember. Therefore, one can say that r xy of tau will not be equal to r yx of tau. But this was not the case in autocorrelation function. Okay, so unless the two random variables are statistically independent of each other, then you cannot come to this conclusion. So if the joint density function between x and y not the same as the joint density function between y and x, what is the reason? Because the random variable x is sampled at time instant t1 and y is sampled at a time instant t2, so they are not equal, they are different. Then obviously the rxy of tau and ryx of tau are not necessarily equal. Okay, you can write not necessarily, because the joint density functions are not the same, and we will see why the joint density functions are not same a little later. The probability density functions are not necessarily equal in this case. So fx1 y2 of x1 y2 comma t1 comma t2 is not necessarily equal to f y1 x2 y1 comma x2. You put a colon or semicolon, no problem here. Then t1 comma t2. So this is a reason behind this, that two autocorrelation functions are not equal. Similarly, for the time cross correlation functions, like in autocorrelation function, we had we can have autocorrelation functions, right? So similarly here also we can have cross correlation function over the ensemble, and similarly we can have time cross correlation functions also. So there we had time cross correlation functions, sorry, time autocorrelation function, and here also you can have time cross correlation function. Okay, and there we have the statistical correlation function, and here also we can, sorry, this is not statistical, let me put a single r, and statistical cross correlation function r. This is statistical cross correlation function, and this is time cross correlation function. And this one is time autocorrelation function, in short let me write AF, and this one is statistical autocorrelation function. So here also I can have time cross correlation function. So we can define the time cross correlation function or xy of tau as you take x of t, any one realization or any one waveform. This indicates one sample function, any one sample function. I can put any, that is very important, any one sample function from the random process x of t, multiply by small y of t plus tau. What is this y of t plus tau? This is any one sample function, because I had or I have infinite number of sample functions in the random process in reality. Capital Y of t, and then integrate from minus t to plus t and divide by 2t in order to get time average. And you need to consider the waveform right from minus infinity to plus infinity. So you allow capital T to go to infinity. So this is the time cross correlation function definition. So this is exactly like the time autocorrelation function. This definition is exactly as a time auto correlation function, but only thing is instead of using x of t plus tau, I used y of t plus tau, that's it. And in general these two are not equal either, okay. So that is the time auto correlation function between x and y will not be equal to the time auto correlation function between r y x of tau. But for jointly ergodic process, that is if the two random variables are jointly ergodic, then the time cross correlation will be the same as statistical correlation, meaning the time correlation or xy, time cross correlation or xy of tau will be equal to statistical cross correlation of x and y, and time cross correlation between y and x will be equal to statistical cross correlation y and x of tau. So this holds for ergodic process. If the process is ergodic, jointly ergodic, that is very important, okay. So individually ergodic will not suffice to hold this property. So x of t, the random process x of t and y of t are jointly ergodic process. Then this rule is applicable. Now the next one is something called orthogonal process. If x of t and y of t are at least jointly WSS, x of t and y of t are jointly WSS, meaning wide sense stationary, okay. In that case, r xy of t comma t plus tau in this cross correlation independent of, when I say wide sense stationary, then the autocorrelation function or cross correlation function independent of absolute time, that I already told you. It only depends on the time difference. What is the time difference? T plus tau minus t, that is equal to tau, okay. So therefore r xy of tau, because why I am writing tau here, because it is a wide sense stationary process. X of t and y of t are jointly wide sense stationary process. Therefore this is equal to x of t times y of t plus tau. This is the definition of cross correlation function. Now if the definition is like this, the definition says if r xy of tau equal to 0, then the random process x of t and the random process y of t are called orthogonal, okay. So if two processes are statistically independent, the next case is if x of t and y of t are statistically independent, then what will happen? Independent, then the cross correlation becomes r xy of t comma t plus tau is equal to x of t times x of t plus tau. Since this is a one random variable and this is another random variable, if these two random variables are statistically independent, then you can write as x of t times expectation of x of t times expectation of y of t plus tau. If in addition to being independent, like x of t and y of t are at least WSS process, then this E of x of t is x bar and E of y of t plus tau is going to be y bar, and which is again constant because it is WSS. For WSS process the mean is constant, Basically this is a mean of y of t, mean of y of t. And what about this one? This one is mean of x of t. So therefore and for WSS process, this mean of x of t equal to constant, and the mean of y of t is also a constant. So constant times constant is again you will get a constant value. Okay, so that's all about the cross correlation function. Then the next lecture, let me talk about properties of cross correlation function. Okay, so what are the properties it has? It has like 3 or 4 properties, and they are entirely different from the properties of autocorrelation function, that we'll see. The properties of cross correlation function are quite different from the properties of autocorrelation function. So summary, in cross correlation we consider 2 random variables, and these random variables are taken from 2 different random processes, x of t and y of t. You sample the random process x of t at time instant t1, you get a random variable x1, and take the random process y of t and sample the process at time instant t2, you get another random variable y2, and take the expectation of x1 multiplied by y2, then you'll get a cross correlation function. Okay, so at this point let me stop. In the next lecture I will discuss the properties of autocorrelation function. Thank you.